On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Imaginary.
Existing only in someone's mind.
Examples:
Imaginary number. Imaginary pregnancy. Little children tend to have imaginary friends.
Landscape.
An expanse of scenery that can be seen in a single view, a large area of land, especially in the country and relating to its appearance.
Examples:
A peaceful landscape. Landscape painting. Recent electoral shocks have shaken the political landscape in Europe.
Hallucinate.
To experience a seemingly real perception of something that does not actually exist, usually as a result of a mental illness or drug use.
Examples:
Start to hallucinate. Hallucinate with drug. Sleep-deprived people gradually lose their concentration and may hallucinate.
Mimic.
To imitate someone's speech, movement, or behavior, especially to make others laugh.
Examples:
Mimic a human voice. Mimic numerous instruments. He is very popular at school because he can mimic all the teachers' accents.
Perception.
A belief, opinion, or image you have based on how you regard, understand, or interpret something, the ability to see, hear, or notice something through the senses.
Examples:
Keen perception. Perception of a stimulus. He is a man admired for the depth of his perception.
Visual.
Relating to seeing or sight.
Examples:
Visual navigation. Field of visual arts. The building makes a remarkable visual impact.
Patient.
A person who is receiving medical treatment, care, or attention from a healthcare professional, such as a doctor, nurse, or therapist, a personal quality or characteristic.
Examples:
Patient in the hospital. Patient with weight loss. The doctor carefully examined the patient's medical history.
Nurse.
A healthcare professional who is trained to provide care for the sick or injured. Verb, to try to cure by special care or treatment of an illness or injury.
Examples:
Nurse practitioner. A volunteer nurse. The night shift nurse checked my vital signs before administering the medication.
Resident.
A person who lives in a particular place or has their home in a place. A resident of the city. Resident tax. Visa renewal for resident foreigners in this country is once every 5 years.
Bonkers.
Slang for completely crazy or insane.
Examples:
Bonkers idea. Sound bonkers. The traffic during rush hour can make even the calmest person go bonkers.
Stroke.
A medical condition in which poor blood flow to the brain causes cell death, the act of swinging or striking at a ball with a club, racket, etc.
Examples:
Suffer stroke. A stroke of the putter. This year's extreme heat has resulted in many heat stroke cases.
Alzheimer.
A neurodegenerative disease that causes memory loss, cognitive decline, and behavioral issues, is the most common cause of dementia in older adults.
Examples:
Alzheimer's brain. Alzheimer's risk factors. My grandmother has Alzheimer's disease, requires special care and attention from her caregivers.
Evident.
Apparent to the mind, senses, or judgment.
Examples:
Evident to all. Plainly evident. With evident joy, he signed his name.
Straight away.
Immediately or without any delay or hesitation, without any deviation or detour.
Examples:
Turn straight away. Go straight away. I accelerated straight away to catch up to the car ahead of me on the highway.
Sane.
Mentally sound or normal, having a rational mind.
Examples:
For a sane reason. Sane judgment. Despite the difficult circumstances, he remained sane.
Lucid.
Expressed or presented clearly, easy to understand, rational and sane, shining or bright.
Examples:
Lucid writing. Lucid explanation. His argument was so lucid that even his opponents agreed with him.
Intelligence.
The ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples:
An intelligence test. Field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Startle.
To cause a sudden or unexpected reaction of surprise, alarm, or fear in someone, typically by means of a sudden and loud noise, movement, or event.
Examples:
Startle for a moment. Startle the world. The loud bang outside the window caused him to startle and spill his coffee.
Bewilder.
To confuse or puzzle someone, to cause someone to become lost or disoriented in thought or perception.
Examples:
bewilder the reader, bewilder scientists. The complex instructions on the assignment sheet bewilder most students.
Mention:
To speak or write about something or someone briefly.
Examples:
mention name, mention in a report. I mentioned to him that I had seen his sister at the grocery store earlier that day.
Blind:
Unable to see, unable or unwilling to perceive or understand the true nature of something.
Examples:
blind to the beauties, blind spot. She was nearly blind due to severe diabetes.
Macula:
A small, oval-shaped area near the center of the retina of the eye, responsible for providing high-resolution vision.
Examples:
macula lutea, damage to the macula. There are several treatment options available for patients with macula-related disorders.
Degenerate:
Of a person, animal, or plant, to become worse in health or physical condition.
Examples:
degenerate into a disagreement, degenerate into recession. The once thriving city has degenerated into a crime-ridden slum.
Drape:
To arrange or hang cloth or clothing loosely over something, typically in a decorative way, to cover or decorate loosely with material.
Examples:
drape a coat, drape a curtain. She draped a shawl over her shoulders to keep warm.
Harness:
To control and exploit the power of something, especially natural resources that produce energy. Noun, a set of narrow pieces of leather and metal that are used to control or hold in place a person, animal, or object.
Examples:
harness a horse to a carriage. Put a harness on my pet. People have been exploring ways to harness natural forces and resources since ancient times.
Drag:
To pull or haul with force.
Examples:
drag a chair over, drag a team down. He dragged the heavy suitcase behind him as he walked.
Ceiling:
A room's top interior surface.
Examples:
ceiling board, ceiling light. There was a crack in the ceiling that I found.
Silent:
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
silent reading, give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Boring:
lacking interest or excitement, tedious or dull.
Examples:
boring work, boring day. The lecture was so boring that many people fell asleep.
Repetition.
The act of doing or saying something many times.
Examples.
Repetition of the word. Habitual repetition. Repetition is the mother of all learning.
Humor.
The quality of being amusing or funny, the liquid parts of the body.
Examples.
Sardonic humor. Vitreous humor. My wife seems to be in ill humor.
Frightening.
Causing fear or alarm, or very surprising and alarming.
Examples.
Cast frightening eyes. Frightening experience. The news of the pandemic was a frightening reminder of the fragility of human health.
Unrelated.
Having no connection, not belonging to the kinship.
Examples.
Statistically unrelated. An unrelated position. Excuse me if my question is unrelated to the topic.
Disappear.
To cease to exist or be visible.
Examples.
Disappear without a trace. Disappear after a week. They watched the train disappear into the distance.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone. To identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples.
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Oblivious.
Not aware of something, especially what is happening around you, forgetful.
Examples.
Oblivious of his promise. Oblivious to our response. She was so engrossed in her work that she was oblivious to her surroundings.
Mad.
Insane, especially due to a mental illness, very angry.
Examples.
A mad person. Gets mad easily. He was mad with joy to see the results.
Examine.
To study or consider a person or object attentively and thoroughly to learn something about them.
Examples.
Examine the data studiously. Examine the issue. Initially, we must examine all project-related expenses.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples.
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Medication.
A drug or other form of medicine that treats, prevents, or alleviates the symptoms of the disease.
Examples.
Antibiotic medication. Medication by mouth. The pharmacist not only prescribes the medication but also guides its proper use.
Deteriorate.
To become worse in quality, to decline or degenerate.
Examples:
deteriorate at a slow pace. Deteriorate condition. The patient's health deteriorated rapidly after being diagnosed with the disease.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples:
a prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.
Origin.
The first existence or beginning of something.
Examples:
origin of all humankind. A manuscript of uncertain origin. There are various hypotheses concerning the origin of life.
Bonnet.
A type of headwear that is often worn by women and children, typically featuring a brim and tied underneath the chin, the hinged cover over the engine of a motor vehicle, also known as the hood in American English.
Examples:
sunbonnet. Baby bonnet. She wore a wide-brimmed bonnet to protect her face from the sun. Syndrome. A group of signs and symptoms that occur together and are characteristic of a particular condition or disorder.
Examples:
syndrome of dementia. Acute syndrome. The patient was diagnosed with a rare genetic syndrome. Relieve. To make something burdensome, unpleasant, or painful less severe.
Examples:
relieve his thirst. Relieve stress. The medicine relieved his headache, and he felt much better. Crazy. Stupid or not sensible, very angry. Examples: crazy about cars and racing. A crazy scheme. The rain and thunder are crazy today. Demented. Mentally disturbed or deranged, crazed, irrational or insane in behavior, thought, or perception. Examples: act in a demented way. A demented laughter. The horror movie was filled with demented characters that haunted the viewer's dreams. Largely. Virtually entirely, to a large degree. Examples: largely accepted. Largely mitigate the issue. Nevada is largely a desert state. Elderly. A polite word for old. Examples: a home for the elderly. Elderly woman. The elderly woman is quite energetic. Impair. To damage something or make it weaker or worse.
Examples:
Impair my health. Impair insulin sensitivity. The accident made his vision impaired.
Sufficient.
Adequate, enough for a particular purpose or requirement.
Examples:
Sufficient time. Self-sufficient economy. That candidate does not have sufficient means to win an election with certainty.
Magistrate.
A civil officer or judge who is authorized to administer the law, particularly in a local or lower court.
Examples:
Chief magistrate. Magistrate court. The local magistrate is well respected in the community for his commitment to justice.
Cataract.
A clouding of the lens in the eye that affects vision, a large waterfall.
Examples:
The thunder of a cataract. Cataract lens. The older man had a cataract removed from his eye, which improved his vision significantly.
Surgery.
Medical treatment of injuries or diseases involving an incision with instruments and often removing or replacing some parts of the body, the branch of medical science that treats disease or injury by operative procedures.
Examples:
Cardiac surgery. The professor of surgery. He had undergone heart surgery years before.
Grandchild.
A child of someone's son or daughter.
Examples:
Grandchild-grandparent relationship. Grandchild development. The grandparents take care of their grandchild while the parents are at work.
Handkerchief.
A small square or rectangular piece of cloth, typically carried or kept in one's pocket or purse for various purposes, such as wiping one's face or hands, or as a fashion accessory.
Examples:
Handkerchief embroidery. Patterned handkerchief. She used her silk handkerchief to wipe away her tears.
Mid-air.
Some point in the air, above ground level.
Examples:
A midair collision. Thrown out into midair. She flawlessly performed a midair somersault.
Context.
The circumstances, facts, or conditions that surround a particular event, situation, or statement and that give it meaning.
Examples:
Historical context. Legal context. It's important to understand the context of a situation before making a decision.
Occasion.
A time or event that is suitable or appropriate for something to happen or be done, a particular event or circumstance that requires or allows for something to be done.
Examples:
A glad occasion. As occasion demands. She wore her best dress for the special occasion.
Handsome.
Physically attractive and pleasing in appearance, attractive and generous.
Examples:
A handsome young man. A handsome salary. The politician was known for his handsome appearance and charm.
Alas.
Also exclamation, an expression of grief, condolence, or regret that is used to acknowledge a situation or outcome that is unfortunate or disappointing.
Examples:
Alas, we did not win the game. Alas, I cannot attend the party. Alas, I realized I had left my keys at home and couldn't enter the building.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Flash.
A sudden intense burst of radiant energy, a momentary brightness.
Examples:
A flash of lightning. Brilliant flash. These heavy rains caused flash floods on several islands.
Fade.
To vanish, to fade away, to lose color, to lose freshness.
Examples:
Fade away almost completely. Fade in importance. My memory will fade, but my heart will live on.
Suddenly.
Quickly and unexpectedly.
Examples:
Suddenly attacked by an enemy. Die suddenly. Who answers suddenly knows little.
Fig.
A sweet and soft edible fruit with many seeds or a tree on which these grow.
Examples:
Fig marigold. Fig tree. He ate the dried figs he had preserved.
Robe.
A loose-fitting garment, typically a long flowing outer garment, often worn as a ceremonial or formal attire.
Examples:
Silk robe. Velvet robe. The wizard's robe was embroidered with golden stars and moons.
Scaffold.
A temporary platform or structure used to support workers and materials during construction or maintenance work.
Examples:
Scaffold construction. Go to the scaffold. The construction workers set up the scaffold to reach the top of the building.
Miniature.
Being on a very small scale.
Examples:
Miniature camera. Miniature version. He did complicated pen and ink drawings like medieval miniatures.
Palinopsia.
A visual disturbance characterized by the persistence or recurrence of an image or afterimage after the original stimulus has been removed.
Examples:
Palinopsia symptoms. Migraine-associated palinopsia. The neurologist conducted various tests to understand the underlying causes of the palinopsia episodes.
Hyperactive.
Excessively or abnormally active, restless, or easily excitable, particularly about children or animals with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD.
Examples:
Hyperactive child. Hyperactive imagination. The hyperactive dog was running around the house, knocking things over.
Excitable.
Easily responding to something new or stimuli.
Examples:
Non-excitable cell. An excitable people. He has an excitable temperament.
Spontaneously.
In a way that is natural, not planned or forced, and often sudden.
Examples:
Recover spontaneously after 5 days. This shift occurs spontaneously. The electrical cord spontaneously combusted.
Complicated.
Involving a lot of different things or parts in a way that is difficult to understand or analyze.
Examples:
A complicated process. Become increasingly complicated. He did complicated pen and ink drawings in just a few days.
Disturb.
To interrupt someone who is trying to work, sleep, etc.
Examples:
Disturb the peace. Disturb his sleep. Tourists frequently disturb the island's delicate natural balance.
Stripe.
A long, narrow band of a different color or texture than the surface on which it appears.
Examples:
A white stripe. Stripe texture. The plates have a blue stripe around the edge.
Divide.
To separate or cause to separate into parts or groups.
Examples:
Divide the cake into 2 pieces. Divide money equally. Can you divide 123,321 by 11?
Simultaneously.
At the same time.
Examples:
Simultaneously affected. Take several inputs simultaneously. 2 students answered the teacher's question simultaneously.
Hood.
A covering for the head and neck, especially one attached to a garment.
Examples:
Hood ornament. A silk hood. He pulled his waterproof hood up to protect himself from the rain. Tenacious. Characterized by persistent determination, holding firmly onto something, or refusing to give up. Not easily discouraged or defeated, showing strength or resolve in the face of challenges or obstacles.
Examples:
Tenacious work ethic. Tenacious grip. She showed tenacious determination to achieve her goals despite numerous obstacles.
Grace.
A quality of being pleasing, especially in appearance or manner, a temporary exemption, especially an extended period granted as a special favor, a short prayer of thanks before a meal.
Examples:
Say a grace. End of the grace period. The old oak tree stood with grace and majesty in the park center.
Vertical.
Upright or perpendicular to a horizontal surface or line.
Examples:
Vertical takeoff. Vertical axis. The ladder leaned against the vertical surface of the building.
Takeoff.
A departure, especially of airplanes, the initial ascent of an airplane as it becomes airborne.
Examples:
Vertical takeoff. Takeoff run. Our aircraft is now ready for takeoff.
Tumor.
A mass of diseased tissue that forms when cells in the body divide and grow in an uncontrolled way.
Examples:
Tumor growth. Tumor at remote sites. The patient was diagnosed with a tumor in her lung.
Occiput.
The back part of the head or skull.
Examples:
Occiput muscles. Occiput pain. The massage therapist focused on the client's occiput region to relieve tension in the neck.
Cortex.
The outermost layer of an organ, especially the brain.
Examples:
Cortex cells. Visual cortex neuron. The cerebral cortex consists of 6 layers.
Cartoon.
A simple drawing depicting a humorous or critical situation, often accompanied by a caption.
Examples:
Cartoon character. Cartoon industry. He spent his afternoon watching cartoon movies on TV.
Transparent.
Easy to perceive, detect, or understand, of a material or article, permitting light to pass through freely.
Examples:
A transparent lie. Transparent crystal. The focus of these initiatives is to make the financial system more transparent.
Sesame.
An annual plant cultivated for its small seeds, which are used for food or oil, a flavoring derived from these seeds.
Examples:
Sesame oil. Sesame paste. Sesame seeds are often used as a topping on bagels and bread.
Determinant.
A factor, circumstance, or condition that contributes to the shaping, influencing, or determining of a particular outcome or result.
Examples:
Environmental determinant. A determinant of crop yields. One determinant of success is having a positive attitude and a strong work ethic.
Persistent.
Continuing firmly or obstinately in the course of action, despite difficulty or opposition, lasting or enduring without fading or being lost over time.
Examples:
Persistent cough. Persistent data. Despite the setbacks, he remained persistent in his pursuit of his dreams.
Deformity.
A physical abnormality or distortion.
Examples:
Deformity of character. Physical deformity. The deformity in the steel beam caused the bridge to collapse.
Physician.
A medical doctor who practices medicine.
Examples:
The advice of the physician. Consult with a physician. She visited the local physician to seek treatment for her persistent headache.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
Define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Reassure.
To cause someone to feel sure, to give or restore confidence.
Examples:
Reassure anxious patients. Reassure market. The pilot tried to reassure the customers that the planes were safe.
Insane.
Extremely stupid, crazy, or dangerous, mentally ill.
Examples:
Go insane with pleasure. An insane scheme. Her excessive demands drove me insane.
Acknowledge.
To accept or admit the existence, reality, or truth of something. To accept that someone or something has a particular authority or quality. To express obligation, thanks, or gratitude for someone's help, commitment, etc.
Examples:
Acknowledge the deed. Acknowledge his help. He never acknowledged his fault.
Diagnose.
To determine or distinguish the nature of a problem or an illness through a careful analysis.
Examples:
Diagnose the problem. Diagnose with CT scans. This device is used to diagnose brain cancer and other tumors.
Notion.
A general idea or understanding of something, particularly an abstract or complex concept, a belief or opinion, often one that is not based on solid evidence or facts.
Examples:
Notion of success. Vague notion. The notion of time travel has long fascinated scientists and fiction writers alike.
Psychotic.
Relating to or characterized by a loss of touch with reality, exhibiting or suffering from a severe mental disorder characterized by delusions, hallucinations, or disordered thinking.
Examples:
psychotic medication, psychotic episode. Her husband's death caused her to experience a psychotic break.
Accuse:
to charge or criticize someone with a crime or wrongdoing.
Examples:
accuse his rudeness, accuse each other. The witness accused the defendant of committing the robbery.
Seduce:
to entice someone to engage in sexual behavior or to enter into a romantic relationship.
Examples:
seduce him into crime, seduce her mind. He tried to seduce her with his charm and good looks.
Humiliate:
to cause someone to feel ashamed, embarrassed, or degraded, especially in public or through revealing personal information.
Examples:
humiliate him publicly, humiliate the heckler in the audience. The boss humiliated her employee by belittling her in front of her colleagues.
Jeer:
to mock or scornfully shout at someone, to express derision or contempt by words or gestures.
Examples:
jeer at the speaker, jeer at the performance. The crowd jeered at the losing team.
Interact:
to communicate or react with somebody.
Examples:
interact directly with customers, interact with one another. He should interact more with his colleagues.
Temporal:
of or relating to time as opposed to eternity.
Examples:
a temporal restriction, temporal history. The temporal nature of the universe is a subject of much debate among scientists.
Lobe:
a rounded projection or division, especially of the brain, lung, or liver.
Examples:
lobe of the liver, frontal lobe. The lungs are divided into 5 lobes.
Epilepsy:
a neurological disorder characterized by recurrent seizures or convulsions, which can manifest in a variety of ways and be caused by various factors.
Examples:
epilepsy seizure, epilepsy medication. The flashing lights at the concert triggered her epilepsy and caused a seizure.
Transport:
a system for moving people or products from one location to another using automobiles, roads, and so on.
Examples:
transport facilities, access to public transport. Enhanced rail transportation is crucial for our business.
Junction:
a point where 2 or more things meet or come together, particularly roads, railways, or rivers, a place or time of joining or combining.
Examples:
junction box, junction point. The junction between these two roads is a common site of traffic accidents.
Chestnut.
A tree or its nut, with a smooth brown shell and a sweet edible kernel.
Examples:
chestnut hair, chestnut shell. The chestnut tree is known for its edible nuts and beautiful fall foliage.
Roast.
To cook food by surrounding it with hot, dry air, especially in an oven.
Examples:
roast coffee beans, roast beef. The chef roasted the chicken to perfection in the oven.
Traffic.
The movement of vehicles, people, or goods along a route or through a transport system, the amount of such movement in a particular place or at a particular time.
Examples:
traffic jam, heavy traffic. We decided to take a detour to avoid the construction traffic on the main road.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
involve a lot of paperwork, involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Familiarity.
A state of being well known or closely acquainted with someone or something. The quality of being easily recognized or understood. A feeling of comfort or ease in a particular environment or with a certain situation.
Examples:
casual familiarity, sense of familiarity. The tourists' familiarity with the city's layout allowed them to navigate easily.
Locate.
To specify or determine the exact position of someone or something.
Examples:
locate a missing pet, locate a tumor. The robot can accurately locate construction material.
Coherent.
Logical and consistent. Noun, the quality of being clear and easy to understand.
Examples:
a coherent explanation, create a coherent system. His writing was well structured and coherent.
Dramatic.
Very sudden, very excellent, or full of action and excitement.
Examples:
make dramatic changes. A dramatic rescue at sea. The statement had a dramatic impact on house prices.
Geometry.
The area of pure mathematics that deals with the points, lines, curves, and surfaces.
Examples:
Euclidean geometry, spherical geometry. The mathematician pioneered fractal geometry.
Elaborate.
Containing a lot of carefully prepared and organized or many complicated and detailed parts.
Examples:
An elaborate hat. Elaborate Ponzi scheme. He proposed an elaborate program of public works.
Fascinating.
Extremely interesting.
Examples:
Fascinating story. Completely fascinating to me. The museum houses a fascinating collection of Celtic artifacts.
Functional.
Designed for or capable of a particular activity, purpose, or task, practical or ready for use or service.
Examples:
Field of functional medicine. Functional deafness. The mobile phone was still functional even after being dropped.
Imagery.
The use of words or pictures in books, photographs, paintings, etc., that produces pictures in the minds of people, the ability to form mental images of things or events.
Examples:
Visual imagery. Satellite imagery. This movie is famous for its romantic imagery.
MRI.
Abbreviation for magnetic resonance imaging, a medical imaging technique that uses a strong magnetic field and radio waves to produce detailed images of the inside of the body.
Examples:
MRI brain image. Cardiac MRI. The MRI machine uses powerful magnets to produce detailed images of the inside of the body.
Activate.
Make something start working, more active or dynamic.
Examples:
Activate a receptor. Activate a motor. You must activate the software with a 16-digit key before you can use it.
Primary.
First or highest in rank, order, or importance, most fundamental or essential, pertaining to the initial or introductory stage of something, such as a school year or election cycle.
Examples:
Primary school. Primary education. The primary cause of the accident was due to the icy road conditions.
Perceive.
To become aware or conscious of something through the senses.
Examples:
Perceive a threat. Perceive light. Australia is widely perceived as having low levels of corruption.
Fusiform.
Having a spindle-like shape that is wide in the middle and tapering at both ends, characterized by a rounded, elongated form.
Examples:
Fusiform face area. Fusiform neurons. The fusiform gyrus is a brain region that plays a key role in face recognition.
Gyrus.
A convolution of the surface of the brain.
Examples:
Gyrus function. Cerebral gyrus. The inferior temporal gyrus is involved in object recognition.
Damage.
To harm or cause injury to something or someone, often resulting in decreased value or functionality, to impair or negatively affect something, such as a reputation or relationship. Noun, harm or injury that is caused to a person, thing, or entity.
Examples:
Damage a relationship. Damage assessment. During the surgery, the doctor had to be extremely cautious not to damage a blood vessel.
Abnormal.
Not typical, usual, or regular, especially in a way that is bad.
Examples:
Abnormal heart rhythms. Abnormal cells. An abnormal climate in the region caused a sharp decline in grain harvest.
Anterior.
Located in or directed toward the front.
Examples:
Anterior view. Anterior teeth. The anterior part of the skull is the forehead.
Represent.
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples:
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples:
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Specifically.
Only associated with or meant for one thing.
Examples:
Designed specifically for men. For specifically American customers. This ad campaign is aimed specifically at young women.
Recognition.
The action or process of recognizing or being recognized, especially by remembering, an agreement that something is true or legal.
Examples:
Recognition award. Joint recognition. He was given recognition for his outstanding work in the field of medicine.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Frontotemporal.
Relating to or involving the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, pertaining to the areas of the brain responsible for certain cognitive functions, behavior, and language.
Examples:
Frontotemporal atrophy. Frontotemporal lobe. Frontotemporal dementia is a neurodegenerative disease affecting the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain.
Figment.
Something invented or imagined, particularly something that is not real, tangible, or concrete, a product of the imagination.
Examples:
figment of imagination, figment of memory. The idea that the government is spying on us is just a figment of your imagination.
Fragment:
a small piece or part broken off or detached.
Examples:
fragment of a text, a broken fragment. The archaeologist carefully pieced together the tiny fragments of pottery found at the dig site.
Emotion:
a strong feeling such as love, anger, etc., deriving from one's situation, mood, or relationships with others.
Examples:
control my emotion, afraid to show emotion. Some emotions are common across cultures and backgrounds.
Inferior:
lower in rank, status, or quality.
Examples:
an inferior poet, inferior quality. The new employee's work was inferior to that of the experienced workers in the team.
Fragmentary:
consisting of small or disjointed fragments, incomplete or lacking coherence or continuity, characterized by fragmentation or disunity.
Examples:
fragmentary information, fragmentary remains. The historian could only piece together a fragmentary account of the ancient civilization.
Neural:
of or relating to a nerve or the nervous system that includes the brain.
Examples:
neural stem cells, neural networks in AI. There was a disturbance of neural function.
Encode:
to convert information into a code or format suitable for storage or transmission.
Examples:
encode data, encode information. The software can encode and decode encrypted messages.
Cluster:
a group of similar things or people close together, often forming a distinct mass or unit.
Examples:
live in a cluster, a cluster of stars. A cluster of grapes hung from the vine.
Normally:
usually, under normal conditions.
Examples:
complete normally, not normally drink much. I don't normally take a vacation in the middle of summer.
Integrate:
to combine one thing with another so that they form a whole or work together. To accept equal participation for members of all races and ethnic groups.
Examples:
integrate into the existing system. Integrate both businesses. He found that it is difficult to integrate socially.
Stream:
a small, narrow river, a continuous flow of something, such as liquid, gas, people, vehicles, etc.
Examples:
the stream of time, An endless stream of cars. Jet streams are the common name for air currents that form high in the atmosphere.
Conscious.
Being aware of and able to respond to what is happening around you.
Examples:
Conscious effort. Conscious of having succeeded. He became conscious that he was being followed.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Interrupt.
To say or do something that causes someone to stop in their speech or action.
Examples:
Interrupt a call. Abruptly interrupt. Her sleep was interrupted by recurring pain.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Anarchy.
A state of society without government or law.
Examples:
Anarchy in the classroom. Lapse into anarchy. The concept of anarchy has been used in literature, music, and other art forms to explore ideas about power, freedom, and rebellion.
Convulse.
To experience a sudden and violent contraction of the muscles, often caused by pain, illness, or emotional distress, or to make someone or something do this.
Examples:
Convulse with laughter. Convulse with anger. He convulsed in pain as the injury was severe.
Stimulation.
The act of arousing interest or activity in something. The action of providing a stimulus.
Examples:
Stimulation of the economy. Stimulation of the senses. The stimulation of certain chemicals activates the brain's reward system.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples:
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Organ.
A part of the body of an animal or plant that has a particular purpose and performs a specific job.
Examples:
Organ bleeding. Damage to internal organs. These infections have the potential to impact practically every organ system.
Coherence.
The quality of being logical and consistent.
Examples:
Coherence in a speech. Lack coherence. The story's coherence could have been better when the author included too many unrelated details.
Terribly.
Very badly, to a great extent or very much.
Examples:
Suffer terribly. I am terribly sorry. His arm was swollen and terribly red.
Interpret.
To explain or assign the meaning of information, actions, etc.
Examples:
Interpret a graph. Interpret the question. Different people might interpret this news differently.
Association.
A people or groups of people who have joined in a single organization together for a particular purpose, a social or business connection or relationship.
Examples:
Word associations. A scholarship association. His membership in the association provided him with numerous benefits.
Recapitulate.
To summarize or repeat the main points of something.
Examples:
Recapitulate briefly. Recapitulate a speech. He recapitulated the main points of the meeting for those who had not been able to attend.
Scared.
Afraid or frightened.
Examples:
Scared all the time. Scared dog. I'm scared of insects.
Infinite.
Unlimited or very great, impossible to measure.
Examples:
Infinite appetite. Infinite in supply. The battle had an infinite impact on the nation.
Insight.
The ability to gain an accurate and deep understanding of people or situations, an accurate and deep understanding of what something is like.
Examples:
A profound insight. Share my insights. We gained various insights by analyzing the vast amount of data owned by the company.
Generate.
To produce or create something, to make offspring by reproduction.
Examples:
Generate more electricity. Generate $100 a month. The economic stimulation program would generate a lot of new jobs.
Machinery.
A group of large machines or the components of a machine that make it work, social institution functions or structure for doing something.
Examples:
Heavy machinery. Inactive machinery. The machinery of audit formally issued a business improvement order.
Glimpse.
A brief or partial view, the act of seeing something or someone for a very short time or only partly.
Examples:
A momentary glimpse. Passing glimpse. Our team caught a glimpse of the world-class technique in this game.
Superb.
Of very high quality, excellent, extremely good.
Examples:
Superb quality. A superb view. The performance of the orchestra was superb.
Empathy.
The ability to share another person's feelings or experiences by imagining that person's situation.
Examples:
Full of empathy. Empathy for patients. Empathy is also necessary to understand history.
Sack.
To remove or dismiss someone from a position or place. Noun, a large bag made of strong, rough material, such as burlap, that is used for storing or carrying things.
Examples:
Sack an employee. A sleep sack. He was sacked from his job for stealing company property.
Tinnitus.
A ringing, buzzing, or other noise in the ears or head that is not caused by an external sound source, often associated with hearing loss or damage to the ear.
Examples:
Tinnitus treatment. Chronic tinnitus. She suffered from severe tinnitus after attending a loud concert without earplugs.
Ignore.
To intentionally not listen or pay attention to.
Examples:
Ignore her advice. Ignore a ban. Since independence, the area has been completely ignored.
Occasionally.
Now and then, sometimes but not often.
Examples:
Occasionally dine with friends. Occasionally change the routine. She still occasionally writes a short romance novel.
Tick.
A light, sharp, repetitive sound or action, a mark indicating that something is correct or has been done. Any of two families of small parasitic arachnids with barbed proboscis.
Examples:
Tick of the clock. Tick fever. I always put a tick mark next to the items on my grocery list after buying them.
Hexagon.
A six-sided polygon with 6 angles and 6 sides of equal length.
Examples:
Hexagon head bolt. Hexagon pattern. The honeycomb structure of a beehive is made up of hexagons.
Complexity.
The state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
Cognitive complexity. Complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Migraine.
A severe headache typically felt as a throbbing pain on one side of the head.
Examples:
Suffer from migraine. Migraine attack. She gets migraines whenever she's under a lot of stress.
Cave.
A large hole in the side of a hill, cliff, mountain, or under the ground.
Examples:
Domiciliary caves. The mouth of the cave. Bats reside in sheltered caves.
Ornamental.
Describing something that is intended to be decorative or add beauty, serving as a decoration or adornment.
Examples:
Ornamental ironwork. Ornamental design. The garden is filled with ornamental plants and flowers.
Derive.
To obtain or receive something from a source.
Examples:
Derive a conclusion. Derive knowledge from books. These English words are derived from Latin.
Utterly.
Completely or absolutely.
Examples:
Utterly changed. Utterly ignorant. We are utterly opposed to any form of terrorism.